Yes, guys. Let's give it a couple of minutes. I'll give it a minute or so. Just doing my. It's a bit chilly down here in the kitchen this late at night. Do I think I look better with the hood up or with the hood down? Look better with the hood down, innit? I can worry about these things now because I feel alright. I was worried. My chaps were going off. Man United were getting hammered by the fans from other teams. But not now. Ooh. Yes, guys. How we doing, man? How we doing? We got many people in the room. I hope people are watching. What I have to say. What a result, man! I've been to 3 games 2 games this week, and I've watched another one live today. It's my 3rd one, and they've all thrown up really, really good games. But this one, the Man United one, was the one that had me so up and down. It was unbelievable. I mean, I don't know, man. After the last 2 performances of Man United, all I thought about is that, you know what, we're showing a bit of fight, we're showing a bit of grit, we're showing a bit of determination. And I'm going, right, we're onto something. And almost for like 75 to 80 minutes of that game today, I'm thinking, was I dreaming when I watched that before? What's happened here? What's happened to my team? Yeah, the effort's there. But I think Amorim, yes, we've won the game and he'd be thankful. And I think we probably would have lost that before. We'd be thankful that the fighting spirit's there and we showed character and we won the game, right? With 3 moments of brilliance from Ahmad, who's an absolute star. The only one to really come out of this game, the only real, I think, who's done himself any favours. Diallo, actually, I thought played quite well as well at times. But Ahmad's the only one. But I think Amorim, he said after the last game or going into this game, he will find out a lot about his players in this next game because it's easy to get up for Liverpool or Arsenal. It's the Southamptons, the Brightons, no disrespect for those teams, but the teams where you've got to motivate yourself a little bit, and also it shouldn't be difficult. Don't get me wrong, but it's a different. There's a different chemical that's floating around your body before games like that compared to games like Liverpool or Arsenal. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but you do find out who can be professional, who can prepare exactly the same or almost identical to the games against Liverpool for the games against Southampton, who takes them as seriously, who does all of their prep exactly the same and fine-tuned for these games, and who takes the opponents as seriously as they would at Liverpool or when Salah's playing or Saka's playing against you, who takes those Southampton players as seriously. All these things, all these layers add up. And I look at it, and today I think he would have thought, you know what, is it the mindset? Is it all those things I said there? Or is it just a lack of prep? Is it a lack of understanding of the formation? Is it a lack of understanding how to play for this new manager? They're the things Amorim's going to have to work out. Because when I watched the game today, I was texting loads of my friends. Even Scholesy was doing TNT. I was texting Scholesy like, what's it look like live when you're watching the game? Because it's sometimes a different picture when you're right there. And I was saying, it's just, when we have the ball, we just don't look like we have any fluidity. There's no real idea. There's no real patterns. That's the problem. And I saw a few patterns against Liverpool and Arsenal. But against Southampton, I didn't see any patterns. When I watched both the teams, their players, their defenders, etc., are passing the ball out to players that are getting the ball, turning, facing us up, not massively under pressure. The pass appreciation of passes into players was better. Our players look so much more different. Every ball's an uncomfortable pass. It's an uncomfortable when they're receiving it. They're always under pressure. It's always 100 miles an hour. It's just so different. I don't understand what it is and why that is. And I think the quicker the manager gets to the bottom of that in setting this team up to be it's near on impossible in that sense if we're going to continue to improve and we can't play and be composed in all different phases of the game. I think the hat-trick hero is Ahmad. He's the guy. He rescued Man United today. But it took us like 70, 75 minutes before we showed any threat at all. Hojlund, I thought, was a bit lacklustre. nothing stuck with him really. He had one good moment in the game. But then gets brought off, and Xerxes, who's been under a bit of pressure, comes on. And I thought the whole team and everything improved when he came on. To be fair, Collier as well. Those two substitutions, I thought, kind of made us a little bit better. The ball was going into Xerxes. He was producing. He was holding it up, bringing others into the game, moving. So that was impressive today. But it's a mad one. I think we've just got to... There's a bit of a slightly dodgy connection, guys, so I apologise for that. But stay with us. But yeah, man, it's difficult. I think, again, you're looking at it and going, Southampton have given us problems. Southampton have conceded a lot of goals. They found it hard to score goals. And both of their aspects today, they look quite comfortable with, which isn't great for us. Lenny Yoro, I thought, had a tough evening. I think the winger gave him a hard game today. I think he showed him today this is the Premier League. You can play against Southampton, and there's going to be tough players to play against. That's, I think, a good learning curve for him. He'll learn from that. But it's a game you look at it and go, wow, what? There's still a lot of work to be done, isn't there? There's still a lot of work to be done. No one was fooled by just two performances. By the way, we drew both those games in 90 minutes. We just showed a level of commitment and fight, which was nice to see, because that shows you we haven't seen that for so long consistently. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we're looking at the transfer window now. What are we going to do? Is he going to bring anyone in? Is he going to sell anyone? I think there were rumours about Garnacho leaving or going to Napoli, because their winger, I can't even say his name, Carfalesh, whatever his name is, he's going to PSG. It's rumoured to be sorted out, and that's all done. Garnacho, they're saying, is the one that they might let go there. Obviously, because of the money situation, he goes as a profit on the books. But that's one thing I don't like about the new system. You bring in players through the academy, but you're getting a bonus, and you're getting it's a plus for you, an added advantage for you if you sell your homegrown talent. How does that make sense? How's that right? It shouldn't be right, should it? Let me know in the comments, but I don't think that's the right thing, because you bring homegrown players through, you want to see them play for your team. That's why the fans relate to those guys. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think it's more important, not about signings, it's about the manager getting this team, understanding what he wants. I was with Arne Slot the other day, Liverpool manager, and I said to him, how do you coach your team? How do you get your messages across? What's the main way you do it? And he said, video. Don't have enough time on a training pitch. So this manager's got to find a way. I don't know what his ways are and what his methods are. But I'd like to see it, hear what he says. I think if you want to ask a few questions in the chats, guys, it'd be nice to see a couple of your questions if you've got any. I'm speaking a bit quiet because the family's asleep upstairs, but any questions, just throw them in, guys, and I'd love to answer a few. I think, before I even answer any questions, Ahmad's journey, he comes to the club. That's what, why the fans love him? Because there's a fighting spirit within him. Because he's come as a wonder kid, 30-odd million pounds, hasn't quite hit off immediately, gets sent out on loan. Manager looks like he doesn't fancy him at all. Don't even play him, don't even consider him. Then starts getting in, shows a little bit of fight. You know what he's done to get him to this point, by the way? He's done things that Man United would never have thought he could do. And they're the reasons why he's now staying in the team and why the fans love him. 2 of the goals he scored this season are just from pressing. The goal today, pressed the defender. He pressed the keeper, I think it was Liverpool, scores a goal. Was it Liverpool? I don't know who it was. But he's got 2 goals just from chasing people down. That's not why Man United bought him. Man United, the videos or the scouts when they watched him, the data wouldn't have thrown out, he's great at pressing. He's doing things, he's adding things to his game that he knows are going to give him a bigger chance to stay in a team. We know he can dribble, we know he can manipulate, we know he can see a pass, we know he can create openings. But bringing other things to the table, and fans just, I think, they're warming to that and they love that. So it's nice to see that. And I think his journey has been difficult for him, but the character he's shown. Here's the first question. Asif Malavia, do we stick with Hojlund? Well, there's no one else. Who's the other number 9 we've got? I think we've got Xerxes. He showed more today than I've seen in all the other games that I've seen him play. So Does he go in now and start the game? Listen, who knows? Or is he one of those players that needs the centre backs kind of running down a little bit via Hojlund for 70 minutes and he comes on and finishes them off? I don't know. But it's not like we've got two number nines and you go, right, they're absolutely flying. Like, I don't know, like an Isak. Do you know what I mean? They ain't got, Wood. We ain't got one of those who's actually just flying and he's going, I'm the number 9 and no one else can get in. Everyone else is playing second fiddle. That's not the case at the moment. So we're still waiting for that to happen. Visis Patronus. Hey Rio, greetings from Stockholm. Who can hold other players accountable if no one is performing on a high level consistently? I always say this, as a leader in a team, you have to be committed, you have to be professional, you have to be consistent with your standards every day at the training ground, so that when you do have the chance and the opportunity to call other players out when they're not performing, whether it be in training, for punctuality, or for performance in games, as long as your house is in order, doesn't matter how you're playing, you can speak and you can pull other people up and make them accountable. The moment that you're not doing your thing, it's not about performance, it's about standards and habits, good habits, and being part of the good culture of the club. As long as you're maintaining those, even if you're not playing well, you can fully pull people up. But with those standards and the consistency that you do that with over time, it builds respect. So players will respect that and they won't come back at you and go, oh, you ain't even playing well yourself. How can you talk to me? Only ignorant players who don't like to be told or talk like that. The Cava fella, Rio, what do you think of Collier? I really like him. I think he brings great energy. He's done that a few times off the bench. This might be his role for now, coming off the bench and giving us that extra pair of legs to get about and get amongst it. Looks confident, wants to take the ball. I'd like to see him come into a more confident team and give him more of a chance. But I like it, what I'm seeing so far. I think he's got great energy physically. They tell me at the club he's fantastic physically. And I think when you're playing in a 2 midfield, 2 pivots, the way that Aaron wants to play, one of the main things you've got to be is mobile. And he certainly is that. So I want to see him when we start getting a bit of possession, what he's like then. But right now, I think for what we need, I think he's very, very good. So last question, I think this is Evan Dixon. How can United fans be against like Xerxes? He's so good on the ball and gives our wingers so much freedom to move. Yeah, I agree. When he, I think you can see if he's in form and he's playing well and confident, he does like to receive the ball. He can take it. He can kind of occupy a centre back and take the ball and bring others into play. But ultimately, when you're a number 9 in a Man United team, you've got to score goals. Simple as. So the sooner he does that and the more regularly he does that, he'll get that kind of freedom to kind of be the player he wants to be. Sometimes you've got to go, you know what I am over there, but here I've got to adapt a little bit. Go in there, be the number 9, get in the box and finish things off. Earn that bit of grace than you might get down the line. But yeah, I think showing fight and character at this football club gives you a chance. Amad Diallo is a shining example of that. He becomes today the first player to score a hat-trick for Man United since who? Since who, guys? Cristiano Ronaldo. Wow. It says it all, doesn't it? I'm so pleased for him, you know. I'm so pleased for Ahmad. So pleased for him. I'd had a real bad time with his family behind the scenes. And the kid has just shown character at every juncture. He's gone to Sunderland, played well there. When he started Man United, disappointment not getting in the team immediately because he'd have expected to be in the team. Still comes back and look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. I love it. I think one of the biggest problems is I think the recruitment hasn't been good enough over the years. And we're seeing that with the players. All these managers can't be wrong where you're coming in and going, it's not working. It can't be just the manager. A lot of the players haven't been good enough. And I think there's going to have to be a big overhaul of talent and players going out and then coming in. Real big shuffling of the pack. So yeah. Right, guys, I appreciate it. I'm going to have to go. Love you and leave you. Thanks a lot. Peace.